Photography, y'all, is by Alexi K Photography. Visit alexiphotography.com. If you're a musician, singer, professional needing of a headshot or more, do it with the best. My boy Alexi K Photography. alexiphotography.com. What is going on, everybody? Your boy Saxophonist Will Holton, Buffalo, New York. And we are back for number 2, one-on-one, which is a pre-concert interview to my annual Mother's Day concert, Sax in the City. And as I said last year, we had some great artists from coast to coast. And this year, we're going to be doing more in our own backyard because we have some awesome talent here in Western New York. And one of them today, one of the great saxophonists joining us is going to be Miss Ellen Pieroni. So get ready, y'all, as we get ready to bring Ellen on. And man, listen, we got it for you. Here she is. Ellen, how are you?
Hi. I'm doing well. How are you?
I am well. Thank you for joining me tonight. And,
yeah, happy to be here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have so much to talk about. And man, woman, I love your I love your vibe, man. Your style, your playing. The funny thing is, I remember when I bumped into you at your school where you teach at South Park. I'm like, I'm introducing myself, and I'm like, wait a minute, I know you. And you're like, yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, I never knew you was a music teacher. So we have so much to talk about today, and thank you for joining me tonight. And the people are in for a real treat because let me tell you, you can definitely play that horn, saxophone.
Thanks.
Yeah. So let's get where did it all start at, man? Where did this love of the woodwind instrument come from? When?
So I started playing the saxophone in elementary school. Just like in my band program at Cheektowaga Central. I actually wanted to play percussion or clarinet. Like I remember getting 3 choices of instruments to play.
Mm-hmm.
And saxophone was my 3rd choice. But it was the one that I ultimately was given, and I'm like so grateful that that's what happened.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, saxophone, as I said yesterday, one of the easiest instruments to get started on, which, when you're young, is inspiring because, yesterday we had Bakari on. He talked about doing Suzuki strings and all that. I'm like, man, that's a whole nother world, So how old were you? And you figure...
I was 8 years old then, so that was 21 years ago.
Wow. You're so young and vibrant.
I'll take it while I can.
Yeah, so, man, so where did you go to college?
I went to college here in Buffalo. I went to Buffalo State for music education. Went there for 4 years, and then I did an online master's there as well for my master's degree.
So you were with Dr. Rick Fleming?
Of course, I was with Doc.
Dr. Rick.
Yeah, he was my advisor. He would always invite me in and give me a Honeycrisp apple. And he actually put me onto a lot of soul music. He got me into Donny Hathaway, who I love to this day.
Oh, yeah, well, Encyclopedia of Soul, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so tell me, where does that come from? I mean, you mentioned Donny Hathaway, so you got to give me more.
Like artists that I love. I mean, I listen to a lot of Al Green and Marvin Gaye and Roberta Flack. I think it kind of started with like getting into Motown
Right.
when I was maybe in like early college. I mean, I listened to it, when I was a kid as well, but really went through like a Motown phase early on. Um, and I just kind of started to follow all of the artists as they went on different trajectories after Motown, like Diana Ross and, her more like soul stuff and disco stuff down the line. And I think like getting really into collecting records also put me onto a lot of soul music
Oh yeah.
because you can get some great soul records for $2.99. I feel like record stores don't know what they have
The
sometimes.
hidden gems. I used to go to record theater over on what was that? Lafayette, and
Rest
man,
in peace.
oh my gosh. I mean, I remember grabbing. I built a album cover wall, and many
Mm.
years ago I shot Bentley Gavin Wright on that wall, and I had everything from Streisand to the Gap Band to Phil Collins, to Tears for Fears to Rick James to all these different like artists. Because the album artwork was crazy back then. Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, you can go on the list of
Hmm.
some of these groups. Whoever designed their album artwork, man, they needed to get paid good money because it was like branding was everything. The symbolism, everything that was crazy. So
Absolutely.
we talk about the Encyclopedia of Soul, and I seen you put out a tiny desk entry. It was really awesome. Um, so tell me how that process was.
So we kind of just load it all into my apartment that I'm in right now. Right now my dining room is like kind of where all the music equipment ends up, because my partner plays the drums, so I have a drum set in there and have a piano, an organ, and so we just loaded in all of our stuff. I hit up my friend Ken Campbell, who does some really awesome video stuff, and he had this idea to put the camera lights on the outside of my house,
Oh
pointing
wow.
in to the house to make it look like it was like kind of like early morning or like
Oh
golden
yeah.
hour kind of
Golden
sun
hour.
coming through the windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I definitely was like, sure, if you want to go put your lights outside, I live on the west side, go for it.
Listen.
um, but yeah, it ended up turning out really cool. And I think my favorite thing about it was just like it turned out visually really beautiful. But on
Yeah.
the night, it was just like all of us like trying to set up, like bumping into each other. A lot of like, excuse me, sorry, behind you, like trying to all get into that little space to make the video happen. Um, but I feel like it turned out really good. I'm happy with the result.
So, if you don't mind, is this the song titled "What Time Were You Born"?
It is, yes.
So we're gonna go to that song right now. Check this out. This is Ellen Pieroni with some awesome musicians. What time were you born? We'll be right back. Man, you better come on with that big sound. I love your alto sound. I said it yesterday. I'm not really too much into alto like that. But your sound is great. I love it. I mean, it's like,
Thank you.
Yeah, it's so fat. It's warm. It's got a nice buzz to it, but it's fat. And then I love the way you phrase. Like, your phrasing is really dope. It's like every idea you want to do. Oh, you're welcome. Every idea that you want to pull off, you pull it off. You can tell there's a really good relationship with you and the horn, man. And that's where I'm trying to, I'm getting reacquainted. So it's really refreshing to hear all this different new music, original music, especially because I do play covers, but I'm writing some new music as well. I got old stuff. But so when I hear you putting pad to paper or putting, thoughts coming to life, it means a lot to me, man. It's encouraging. So, wow. So what inspired you to write that song?
I feel like, so the songwriting journey has also been exactly that for me too. Like, I haven't always felt like I had necessarily like a voice or knew what I wanted to say. I played a lot of other people's music and played in a lot of other people's bands. But it's one of those things that I kind of just like made myself start doing. If I could get like a riff or an idea and at least start with that, then I realized I could kind of like craft and build it into something, But every once in a while, a song does just come to me, and they're rare, but What Time Were You Born is one. Like that, basically the bridge part of it is just like came to me one day. Yeah, and it's just like so catchy. And I knew it wasn't enough to be a tune, so I had to kind of like come up with something that happened before it. But that was I don't know, it just came out really authentically. And so it felt like a good one to submit for the contest.
Oh yeah. I mean,
yeah.
That bridge is nice, that turnaround. I love that. That's like, it's really nostalgic.
Yeah, and it just like, it feels really good on the horn too. Just feels right.
So did you ever play tenor or soprano as well, or what do you?
I play tenor reluctantly. I just like love playing alto so much, and really like the hang up with tenor is like hearing in B flat, because I feel like I am such like, I know how to read music obviously, and like went to music school and all that, but like when it comes to improvising, like I'm like an ear player,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like being in B flat and feeling like I'm in E flat, like I just feel like I have less of that like direct connection between like what I want to say and it actually coming out like it's supposed to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I get it.
But I have a tenor. I actually have a 100-year-old tenor. It's a 1922 Con, and it's got a great sound.
Wonder, right? Is that a new Wonder?
Maybe I'd have to look at it. I bought it for $700 when I was in college, and it's the only tenor I've ever had. So these days I do recording work with it sometimes, or like when I play with Buffalo Afrobeat Orchestra, I play some tenor because of Fela Kuti, try to pay homage a little bit. But if I can play alto, that's ideal.
And I mean, I hear you, that major sixth or minor third thing, that's just a whole nother sonically, I'm like,
yeah, I'd rather play Barry, because at least I'm like, okay, my brain's in the right key right now.
right. Yeah. I mean, whew. So we I heard some of your musical influences, but I want to talk about the horn. So we got 8 years old now. When did your musical saxophonic musical influences, when did they kind of take over and be like, okay, I like that person's sound, and give me a couple of those people?
Okay, so what's interesting is for most of my life, I was like a classically trained saxophone player. So I was like a diehard, like classical repertoire kind of person. I listened to a lot of Sigurd Roscher. And so I was kind of down that path for a while until I got to college. As far as horn players, I really love their sound. I would probably say Cannonball Adderley. As far as like whole attitude and vibe, I love Wayne Shorter. And Benny Maupin, who played with Headhunters. Headhunters were like, when I heard Headhunters as a freshman in college, it like changed my entire life. I was like, okay,
oh yeah,
this is music right here.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely some of my favorite. Benny Maupin, I think of Bill Summers. Yeah, there was a bunch of great. And that Headhunters, man, was just like Herbie was. Oh my gosh, but Herbie's Herbie. He just turned 84 years old this year. He's amazing, still killing it.
Yeah, he's one of my biggest musical influences for sure.
Yeah. So Cannonball Adderley, Wayne Shorter. So when you think of the Ellen Pieroni, let's say soup, the ingredients are Al Green, Cannonball Adderley. That's great. I want to know, as I asked Bakari yesterday, what's your Mount Rushmore of saxophone players? So I need 4 of them. Give me 4.
My Mount Rushmore. Oh God. I mean, I gotta put Grover on there. I'd say Grover. I would say Wayne Shorter. I would say Benny, and Charlie Parker, because his like his way of improvising is just like the Bible, you know?
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is.
I can't leave him off of Rushmore.
Listen, Charlie Parker definitely. You know, him and Diz, they created bebop, man. You know, so I mean, a language that has dazzled our minds, is transcended into John Coltrane, Michael Brecker. You go down the list of people that are just like, wow. And Rasher, absolutely one of the best in technique. I have a bunch of his books, and his overtone series is something that's, I'm like, wow. I mean, you know, and actually I've seen the saxophone, that keyless saxophone at Atlas Music.
I played it once.
Oh wow, how was that?
It was crazy. I did like a saxophone camp at Fredonia.
Wow.
And because my goal was to go to Fredonia for classical saxophone. I just like, you know, decided to go to Buff State instead and save some money.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I have no regrets, because like nothing would have happened the way that it did had I done that. I would be like a whole different person right now. But I went to a saxophone camp there, and they had the keyless sax, and they let us all try it, and it was trippy. It was trippy to not be able to play, like move your fingers. There were no keys. You just had to do it all with your voicing. It was really hard, honestly.
What do you think about that slide sax that they have now with like the belt? That one gentleman, have you seen that?
I have not seen that, no.
So just imagine like a soprano sax, but there is one long tone hole down the instrument, and there's a piece of material that comes down the whole instrument, and basically it's like an upright bass. So you gotta like,
wow,
you gotta like land on the guy that made it. He's like a genius. I mean, you gotta check it out. It's like
wait, I think I do know what you're talking about. It's like almost, is it like kind of an electronic instrument or not?
No, that's the Iwi.
No? Okay, then I don't know.
No,
I know the Iwi.
Yeah, this is acoustic. It's came out, previous editions came out, but now they went full launch with it. Sax.uk, they did a whole video on it, and you can go on YouTube, man. It's trippy. You'd be like, wow. I mean, it's like you see the guy moving like a fretless bass.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Because if you like into that sonic sounds and stuff, like I could see people using it for a lot of different things. The same as they use the Iwi instrument. I played Iwi for quite some time, like on my records, and that was inspired by one of my favorite saxophonists, Everett Harp, good friend of mine I've known since 1999. And the master, one of the masters of Iwi was Michael Brecker, hands down. I mean, you know, you had Eddie Lockjaw Harris. He played it as well. There's, you know, you got Casey Benjamin. You got so many different guys that played the Iwi and made it into their own thing. But man, Michael Brecker on that Iwi, changed your life, because there was an interview I watched that he did in 1984 at North Texas State. And he was talking about what he studies, you know, and how long sometimes things would take to click. And me right now, I'm in the fundamental stages right now. I'm going back to doing modes and doing circle of fourths and circle of fifths and learning something about permutations, thanks to Najee. Oh my gosh. I'm like, okay, all right. And I'm like, all this stuff. So I went to Villa Maria College for jazz performance for 1 year, which was the 09-09 year. So I'm basically going back 24 years after that and learning about all this stuff, tetrachords and things like that, because, you know, I want to grow. So Michael Brecker was talking about, somebody just shouted out, you know, play giant steps. He was like, he started laughing. He says, I wouldn't be able to make it through one chorus. I'm like, sir, you know, so anyway, but he was talking about what he studied. So ersatz lines, it's like a strings matrix. So he was studying a lot of heavy duty strings stuff. And he would talk about, even with the saxophone, another part of that interview, how he would study something for about 90 days. And then like many months down the road, 6 or 7, 8, 9 months down the road, it would just pop out in his playing. So it's kind of like one of those things where the brain, you ever find that, like the brain kind of like takes control and be like, you know what, you're not gonna do it right now, you're gonna do it later, you know, like, but the soul is like, I want it to come out now, I want to get that new lick now, or that new phrase now, you know. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been working through the Mark Levine Jazz Theory book, slowly but surely, and it's been really interesting to go through, but it's super dense. So sometimes I'm just like, you know, want to apply it right away, but you know, it takes time.
Yeah, it does. So I'm just so honored, man, for real, that you've decided to join for the show. We've never had the opportunity to work together. Give the people an opportunity.
I know.
Yeah, it's good. It's going to give the people an opportunity to meet you, and a lot of my fan base is going to meet you, and then a lot of your fan base is going to meet me and the other guys, and so give the people a little bit of what they should expect from Ellen Pieroni on Friday, May 10th.
Listen, I just like to play things that feel good. Whenever I play my saxophone, I am playing straight from my heart. And yeah, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to collaborate with some new people and play for some new folks. And yeah, it's so rare that as saxophone players, we get to collaborate with each other, you know? So it's just a really beautiful event. I'm so glad to be a part of it.
Listen, I'm so glad to have you. And the next person we got is a dear close friend of yours and mine, Mr. Dalton Sharp, on Monday. He's a wild guy, isn't he?
Love Dalton. He is a great guy. Best vibe in the world.
Absolutely. And so I would just say this, y'all. I want you to check out her Instagram page. I'm going to drop this in the thing here. And so check out her IG right there. And once you get there, you'll see her link tree. Let me tell you something about that link tree. I'm like, yo, I need to hook up with you because you really know how to post all that stuff, man. You really know how to do it.
I do what I can.
I'm like, man, like, golly, like, I mean, you really do. I'm like, it's like, boom, boom, boom. You had us set up for tonight. You got the show set up, buy tickets, da-da-da-da-da. So I like your marketing, man. Like, I really do. It's like you do a lot of things that I would see myself do, like, not style-wise, but just as far as your creativity and your just the you have a really good execution. You know, my mentor Herb Bellamy Jr. said to me, you have a lot of people who have vision, but they don't have the execution. Now, execution could be resources, it could be just the basics of carrying it out, period. So hats off to you, Ellen. I mean, I'm really looking forward to outside of this coming to see you DJ. Like I said, you guys send me your dates and I'll be there, man. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be right there. One more time, y'all.
I got you.
Ellen Pieroni. Check her out, Ellen Pieroni Sax on IG. And come on down to Friday, May 10th, Salvatore's, and check her out. We're gonna have her burning it up, y'all. Nice set. So we appreciate you hanging out. I appreciate you hanging out. To my people who tuned in, and my best friend I seen in there, Trish Dallas. She says she can't wait to hear you. And yeah, my best friend Tamisha Beckford. She says, hey, so much love to y'all, and we will definitely see you on Friday, May 10th. All right. Take care, dear.
See you there.
All right, y'all. So, you know the deal. Friday, May 10th. What happens on Friday, May 10th? Well, annually, I put on a Mother's Day concert entitled Sax in the City Part 5. Well, Sax in the City, excuse me. Part 5 is real special to me because we've definitely taken it to another level, where this is going to be a dinner concert. And I don't know if you've been to a dinner concert like that, because I have never been. I've been doing concerts since 2008. I've had the opportunity to do many, many shows at the Trout Music Hall, and I've done two shows at the Metropolitan, where we bring little food, little things, and shouts off to the venues of the past and of the present. Salvatore's is really beautiful because it's so intimate. It's so beautiful. You're going to be catered to. From 6:30 to 7:30, we're going to have a full appetizer bar for you. And then from 7:30, we're going to start serving dinner. You got to go to salvatoresexperiences.com to get your tickets, because you have to select your food. And then from there, 8 o'clock is the show. So y'all check it out. salvatoresexperiences.com. You'll see it appear on the screen. I appreciate y'all hanging out, and I appreciate Ellen Pieroni for taking the time to hang out. Come on next Monday, right here on my YouTube channel. Please hit the subscribe button, like video, and all of that. And on next Monday, we're going to have the one and only Dalton Sharp. He's going to have us laughing. All right, y'all take care. Photography brought to you by Alexi K Photography. If you're a musician or a business professional or a loved one that needs photography, go to the best. Go to my guy, Alexi K Photography, alexiphotography.com.